Well, some of you women may want to punch me out for the fact that I'm telling you straight, you can't expect your husband to make you happy. Because there's a sense to which you are responsible for your own happiness. But before we get that clear, we want to jump back into women needing to understand a few more things about what it is to really understand their man in a new way.
Right, well, there was just one, I think the one point that I wanted to get across, and the one take-home message for anybody out there that's listening, the women that are interested in how to have happy marriages, they need to recognize that the number one thing that their husband wants is he wants to feel like he is your hero. Wow. He wants to feel like he is making a difference in your life. And when he feels that way, then, you know, then
what is all that
the world
about?
opens up.
Well, it's...
Looking at your wife out in the audience.
Okay, it's because the word came out this morning. My wife's going speaking this weekend, and she needed me to come on board to help with the last finishing touches. It was kind of late notice in some ways, and yet I told her, I said, just let me do this for you. She said, no, it's a busy day, you're taping all. I said to this morning, just let me be your hero.
Absolutely.
Just let me do this for you. What she doesn't know is I'd stay up all night for 3 nights if I had to. Because I want to do that.
Right.
I want to be the guy who comes in and rescues, right?
Right.
And you know what? That was just this morning of me, and I should know all this stuff. But all men have that same desire.
And
right?
here's how do you put that in operation? Here's how you do it. When your husband is doing something related to the family, related to you, stop for a moment and think, how can I convey to him my appreciation that what he has done has made a difference in my life?
Okay, well, I'm going to buy cape and tights for him.
Oh, dear.
And,
she missed it.
I think it's awesome.
I agree. I think that it's just a way of saying we are, you know, you swoop in and take me off my feet, and that means something to me. That's great.
It is. And you know what I tell my husband all the time? Baby, you hung the moon.
Okay, but you know what, here's what happens. I know you're counseling, I find my counseling, I get men saying, you know what, it's just like this. No matter how I do it, it's just never good enough for my wife. You know what?
I hear that.
All the time. Right. So it's incremental. They're not going to get it all figured out the first time, right? But if you just endorse what the efforts they're making, right, then they're more likely to come back,
And that's part of, you know, you talked earlier about having women have lives easier for themselves.
Right.
When you start saying to your husband, you know, I appreciate what you did, instead of saying, you did that wrong, then he starts doing more. Right. So, you know, the first time he does laundry, okay, maybe he puts the colors in with the whites and, you know, runs it out warm, but you still say, thank you for doing the laundry, I appreciate it.
Okay,
I like my undershirts gray.
It's kind of
I know it is hard.
That was my favorite shirt.
Because here's what they're going to say. They're going to say, if you're going to do it, then do it right, for crying out loud. And then the guy says, heck, if I'm ever going to do the laundry again, right? Well, and then you got exactly what you did want.
And then for the next 50 years of your marriage, you're doing the laundry by yourself.
That's true.
And resenting
That's true.
Right. So it's not going to be right the first time, but you show appreciation. You know, you say, you know, I was reading in Scientific American this article about combining colors and white. You know, maybe you ought to consider doing it. And you work with who he is in that context. And then it rings true.
Sure. Now we got to go to some of the myths that women operate under. Actually, a lot of people operate under. And you talked about it in your book, and they're really good. We got some hot buttons that we really liked. But what is one of your favorite myths that you'd like to dispel here?
Well, I think the most important myth is that marriage is going to make you happy. And I deal with a lot of women before they get married, or even before they have a boyfriend. They go, when I get married, I'll be happy. I'll tell you, marriage does not make you happy. No. I mean, marriage sets up a situation in which you are much more likely to be happy and fulfilled and emotionally rich and have meaning in your life. But it just doesn't happen because you put that ring on your finger.
No, it doesn't. And you want to know why?
Yes, I do. Thank you. I write all these books. Now I'm going to find out why.
Wow. Okay. Get a close-up of this.
I'm just going to tell you from a woman. I'll tell you what we're getting all messed up about, okay, is we think our happiness, and even more than that, we think our identity is wrapped up in a man.
Yeah.
And so we come
and in your relationship.
Yes, and we come to marriage for him to fulfill who we are as a woman. And one of two things happen. Either we turn into the clingy, needy, I'm desperate, I'm all over you, which makes men want to go, ugh.
Enough of that, right?
Yeah, you know, get off of me. Or we just say, basically, screw it.
Right.
You're not paying attention to me, you don't do anything, I'll live my own life. But it's because we've lost it. We have got to learn as women how to be confident in who we are. that we have value as a woman before we enter into the relationship.
Absolutely.
Can you tell? You hit a button.
And that is critically important. And the other thing I would say is also to value the relationship that you have with your husband, not the relationship you dream of that exists in a Disney movie.
Yeah, and you know what else? The myth that I really
So
like.
true.
Okay, I like the myth when you talked about, hey, you know what? If I'm not happy in this relationship, I'll just bury this one and start again. And you know what? So many more people, you know, would really do well to stay committed longer.
Yeah.
I mean, we all understand that, right? Because the answer is not a new person.
That's
it's
absolutely
fixing
right.
the issues in this one.
Right.
Over and over again. We see it in our therapy all the time.
Right. And the divorce rates, are, of course, are higher in second
and third marriages.
Oh, yeah, because all you're doing is trading one set of strength and weaknesses with a whole nother set of strength and weaknesses with someone else. Women, I'm serious when I talk about my button. A confident woman is a sexy woman. It feels good. It's freeing. You've got to find value in who you are alone. Then bring that to the marriage. It's an amazing thing. Scott,
You can tell you're a happily married woman.
I am a beyond happily married
Wonderful.
woman. I really am. And I am so thankful for this book. Thank you for standing up and giving light in the subject of how women can be happier.
I'm glad I could do
It's
it.
been great. Stay with us. We've got the bottom line we want to share with you.